Today is Monday, December 2nd, 2019. I'm Paige Bleak. The president announced more tariffs on forged and steel. We've got the details.
And how would you like to buy something for $100 and sell it for $1 million? The news is next.
Tonight is the varsity wrestle-off. Who will make the varsity squad and help lead our championship team to victory this year? Find out tonight at 7 p.m. in the gym. This will be a fierce competition between teammates to see who's got the skills and strength to represent Wildcats. Be here.
Just a reminder, if school were to be canceled due to weather, it would be announced on local news and the district's website. That freshman kid with 33 followers on Instagram isn't a trusted source. If we have a snow day, it will be posted on the website and announced on the local news. Got it? Good.
On today's What About You, we get to meet the big guy himself, Mr. Wilstonhume. Was he ever a teenager? When was he a teenager? Was he a nerd or a preppy? Let's find out. Roll tape.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Nampa High School.
And what kind of extracurricular, extra sports stuff did you do when you were at Nampa?
So I did basketball and football and track. I was also part of the art club.
What was your favorite class out of all those, and why was it your favorite?
In high school, my favorite class was probably my senior English class. And for me, I think it's because we did our senior project that year, and it was just, for me, it was just really meaningful. The teacher I had was also awesome. She was one of those teachers, one of the first teachers actually, that really allowed me to get better at my writing. And so I would write. I wasn't good enough yet, and so she would give me some feedback. And anyways, that was the first time I really had that experience where I felt like I was getting better at writing.
What was your first date?
Ooh, my first date. Wow. With a girl named Tiffany. She had really, really super duper curly hair, and I had just gotten my license, and the car that I drove was a Volkswagen Rabbit, a diesel, smoked terribly, and it was the day after I got my license, and she and I, we went to, of all places, West Park.
Worst date you've ever had?
Ooh, the worst date. So another park date, we had just got done, ice blocking back then was a big deal, so we went to Simplot's Hill and ice blocked. And then on our way home, we came through Nampa and decided to stop at Lakeview Park. And as a little kid, I'd always swung on the willow trees out over the pond and then back. And my body was, I guess, big enough at that point that the branch broke.
So what was your favorite school memory?
Favorite school memory? An opportunity to learn how to screen print shirts. And back then, that was a big deal. Like today, you can just order stuff all over and everywhere, and they can just ship it to your house. Back then, you really did have to go to a brick and mortar shop to get things and buy things. And so, for us to learn how to actually produce shirts, so we made our own designs and got together as an art club, and then sold these T-shirts, and they went like hotcakes.
Awesome, man. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
70% of students say they have seen bullying in school. 20% of high school students experience bullying. Words hurt. Verbal bullying, physical bullying, and cyberbullying will not be tolerated. If you see someone being bullied, report it to a teacher or staff member.
Today's weather is brought to you by Dr. Kim Keller. Your smile is your first impression. Make yours a great one and see Dr. Keller today. Today we have a high of 35 and a low of 28, and tomorrow we'll have a high of 39 and a low of 30. Back to you.
President Trump announced today that the U.S. will restore steel and aluminum tariffs on Brazil and Argentina, citing a massive devaluation of their currency as a reason. Mr. Trump went on to say Brazil and Argentina have been presiding over a massive devaluation of their currencies which is not good for our farmers. Therefore, effective immediately, I will restore tariffs on all steel and aluminum that is shipped into the U.S. from those countries. Formal notices of the tariffs were not immediately announced by the Treasury or Commerce Departments of the Office or the Office of a U.S. Trade Representative. Both Brazil and Argentina were exempted from a 25% steel and a 10% aluminum tariff last year when the president was attempting to avoid a trade war with those companies.
In 1989, a couple from Long Island, New York, paid roughly $100 for an unclaimed storage unit. It was a blind auction, meaning neither they nor the seller had any idea what was inside. When the couple opened the unit, they were in for what would likely be the surprise of their lives. Buried under some old blankets sat a 1976 Lotus Esprit sports car used in the filming of the 1977 James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me. In the movie, the sports car famously transforms into a submarine and fires missiles while underwater. Years later, none other than Elon Musk bought their find for nearly $1 million.
That is a screaming deal. That is a real investment. The SAT word of the day is jaunt, which means a short pleasure trip. You could use it like this. Nitro, the broadcasting dog, likes to take a short jaunt around the school during his prep hours.
That's the news. Thanks for watching, and remember,
Live the Wildcat way.